Underserved populations, refugees. For the purpose of this video, our group chose to focus on refugee children. Armed conflict has been creating a dramatic change in the population around the world, generating a massive number of refugees. Families are being devastated by this conflict, creating a traumatic episode in children and adults. The refugee population is considered underserved because of their lack of resources, according to the World Health Organization. A refugee is someone who fears being persecuted for reasons of race, religion, nationality, membership of a particular social group, or particular opinion. A refugee is outside of the country of his or her nationality and is unable or unwilling to be protected by that country. This makes them a vulnerable population with many disadvantages that are outside of their control, such as a lack of socioeconomic and societal resources and political and social marginalization. Refugees, particularly children, must overcome hurdles like discrimination regarding their competence and education level due to the lack of schooling in some refugee camps. Children also face language barriers that prevent them from expressing their needs and wants, especially when it comes to seeking health care. Although most refugees have the right to government assistance, some still face legal residency issues that make them reluctant to seek medical help in fear of being deported or making the situation worse. Children are the most susceptible population because they rely on caregivers to advocate for them. And with parents that can't even advocate for themselves due to circumstances, then the whole family will face many psychological issues affecting their performance skills and performance patterns. Traumatic events will directly impact children's normal development stages, including processing and motor skills, along with roles, routines, rituals, and habits. According to Whiteford, being a refugee child can cause severe negative impacts and trauma on child's psychological and emotional well-being. In turn, this negatively impacts the engagement in the occupation of play. This early experienced trauma and avoidance from normal play activities can contribute to significantly higher rates of depression and anxiety in children, particularly refugee children, even once settled in a new country. Children must continue to have the opportunity to engage in meaningful activities regardless of the situation. According to the American Occupational Therapy Association, engagement in meaningful occupation is imperative to maintaining a satisfactory quality of life, as well as physical and mental health. Occupation deprivation is one of the many factors that will impede the health and overall well-being of refugees. Occupation is particularly vital among child refugees, as deprivation from engagement in meaningful occupation can lead to maladaptive development. Children learn how to react to the world and develop functional movement patterns through occupation, particularly meaningful occupation. Societal interaction is particularly significant to children who are still developing their social skills and coping mechanisms. Whiteford states in an article from the Canadian Journal of Occupational Therapy in 2005 on a case study of refugees that occupational participation is also an important means through which the effects of trauma, torture, and refugeeism can be ameliorated. Based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which is a 5-tier model of human needs, refugee children fit into the category where basic needs may be lacking. Essential needs are safety, security, food, health, and friends. There is a sense of insecurity and a decreased feeling of safeness created when habits, routines, and rituals are disrupted. Additionally, deterioration of poor health will affect children's ability to participate in their role of being a child, socially interacting with others, developing motor and processing skills, which according to Maslow's hierarchy creates a need for the sense of belonging and friendship. Therapy can enhance performing skills and performance patterns by providing caregivers and communities with playful activities to engage children in their principal occupation, which is play, in order to alleviate some of the stressful situations. It will facilitate motor, processing skills, as well as social interaction. Last but not least, occupational therapy practitioners must educate family members or caregivers in the psychological effects of these traumatic events to empower them with resources and educational material to provide their children with appropriate emotional support. Remember, occupational therapy practitioners must develop an outstanding therapeutic use of self and ethical reasoning to advocate for this underserved group in order to service and enable them to engage in significant activities as occupational therapy is the science of healing through meaningful occupations.